At the end of the day, this is the number one thing that matters when you want to get shredded. Doesn't matter what diet you do. Literally doesn't matter. As long as the diet is working, as long as the diet effectively gets you into a calorie deficit, which is what's required to lose body fat and get shredded, then you will experience hunger. Now, what you do when you experience hunger is the number one determinant of whether you'll be successful with dieting or not, whether you'll be successful with achieving the lean physique that you want. You have to make the right decision in the state of hunger. When your body's feeling hungry, alarm bells are going off. This is a primal wiring. This is normal biology. This is healthy biology, okay? When we experience hunger, it's our body telling us, hey, you're not eating enough food. More specifically, calories. You're not getting enough energy in the form of calories to sustain your current body weight. What does that sound like? Sounds like dieting. It sounds like losing weight. Sounds like losing fat, right? So an effective diet should have hunger increase. A lot of people try and avoid, this is a whole kind of side tangent, but a big mistake a lot of people make when they go into a diet phase, they go into a fat loss phase, is they try and do it and they want to avoid hunger. Bad idea. It's like trying to make $1 million and avoid hard work. You could probably do it, but it kind of breaks the system. It doesn't really work that way. So cost of doing business is just experiencing hunger. So it's better just to embrace it, learn what it means, understand it, and then learn how to navigate through life while experiencing hunger, right? You don't need to be hungry all the time, but leaner you get, the more hungry you're going to experience, okay? This is normal. Now, most people don't make good decisions. They don't make the right decisions when they experience hunger. And this is often one of the main things that you see for people who struggle with weight loss, who struggle with fat loss. People who maybe they lose a little bit of weight, they lose 10, 15, maybe even 20 pounds, but they still have another 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds to go. And they can never get to that level of leanness where they see abs, where they see a six-pack, or maybe enough where they see the bottom, 10 pounds of stubborn belly fat go. They never get to that point. And it always comes down to them making the wrong decision when they're hungry. They can make the right decision when it's easy, but when it's hard, when hunger is high, cortisol is high, stress hormones are high, their, emotions are not comfortable. So when you're hungry, part of that primal wiring is your body basically creating a signal, trying to get you to go consume food. So it's an emergency. It's a mild emergency, depending on how hungry you are and how lean you are and how serious the actual situation is. Your body is sending emergency signals to tell you to go eat, right? It thinks you're in a famine. It doesn't know that there's a supermarket around. It doesn't know that you have food in the fridge. It doesn't know that you have a meal ready to go in the next couple hours. All it knows is, hey, this is an early warning signal that we are entering a famine here. And if I don't get food soon and this continues, then I am in a place where I could die. It's self-preservation at the most fundamental level. Your body is trying to save itself because it's thinking, hey, if this persists, I'm going to die. It doesn't know that we have a plan, right? We're not going to die. We're going to be just fine. And so this is something that you need to understand, because if you want to get to a point, if you want to lose 10, 15 pounds and just look fitter, great. You can do that barely feeling hungry, okay? In most cases, because there's a large genetic variation across hunger, or for hunger across individuals. But that being said, the vast majority of people, if you want to get lean to the point where you have an elite physique, not necessarily bodybuilder stage level, but maybe somewhere near what I've gotten to and most of my clients get to, between 10 to 15 body fat percentage, you're going to see abs, depending on how much ab musculature you have. You might even see a six-pack. You're going to feel hunger. You're going to feel very hungry, and you're going to feel hunger frequently as well, okay? And this is very, very normal. And the decisions you make when you're in that heightened state, when you're in that emotional state, that determines success, because so many people, they eat generally healthy, they walk a lot, they exercise somewhat regularly, they go to the gym, and then they're like, why am I not seeing results? And one of the biggest things that you see there is like they get a little bit hungry or they get a little bit bored, they grab a handful of almonds, they grab, a couple Hershey Kisses, they grab a granola bar, they have a little bowl of cereal, they have a couple, maybe a little bit of fruit after dinner, whatever it is. But it's all these little extras that aren't necessarily quote unquote bad, right? But they can't sit in the hunger and just follow the plan. Maybe they don't even have a plan to begin with, and that's bad for so many obvious reasons. But regardless, they can't sit in the hunger. When they're confronted with maybe social pressure, where there's alcohol or there's, snacks at a social event, or everyone's ordering whatever at a restaurant and they're like, well, I had a plan coming in, but now my friend's ordering this and they're ordering this and my wife's ordering this or whatever. And now they feel weird, like they stand out, or maybe people are making them stand out and they're embarrassed or whatever. And now they feel the social pressure to conform. And now they're hungry on top of the social pressure, and it's tough, right? Not impossible, but that is tough. And in so many cases, hunger triggers that. And if you can't make the right decision when you're hungry, then you're just not going to make it. You will fail every single time. You have to be able to have a scenario. You have to be able to navigate scenarios where hunger is high. It's very uncomfortable. Emotions can be even somewhat negative, and largely that's actually in our control. But let's just say you're in a state where hunger's high, it's very uncomfortable, negative emotions are kind of circulating. You need to be able to clearly behave in a way that aligns with the decisions, or it aligns with the physique that you want, aligns with the goals that you want. And if you can't do that, you will never make it. At the end of the day, you need to make the right decision when you're hungry. And those right decisions essentially comes down to two things, right? You kind of have two right decisions. It always goes into these two buckets. The one bucket is going to be eating something. So in some scenarios, the right decision is just eating the right food, right? I have my meal prep here. This is what I'm going to eat. Or I'd just rather go through the drive-thru and get a burger and fries. Well, in both scenarios, you're eating something, but you got to eat the right something, right? The other route is you can also eat nothing. And there's lots of scenarios where that is going to be the right decision. If you don't know how to do this, you probably just need to hire a coach. But at the end of the day, that's really the two paths that you can go down as far as the two right decisions. The two paths that you can go down are going to be you either eat something or you don't eat something, and you need to know what the right decision is. If you don't have that clarity, it's going to be very, very hard to make that right decision, okay? I'm going to probably make another video more on hunger in the future, because I see this so commonly with people is they don't really know how to navigate hunger. They don't understand hunger. They're constantly trying to run away from hunger, and hunger is really important. And it's extremely valuable. It's an indicator and KPI that I closely monitor with all of my clients as well as myself. I got 3 weeks left of this 8-week cut that I'm in right now. And hunger is something that I track very, very closely. And it's extremely positive. I won't get too much into it right now, but trying to run away from it is a complete fool's errand. It just makes the entire process way more stressful. It becomes a million times easier if we just lean into it, embrace it, and then learn to navigate the scenarios that are going to be forced upon us anyway because of the goal that we're chasing. And then just the process and the way becomes immensely more clear. And it becomes easier. It really does. Not to say that any of this is easy, but it does become a million times easier. And if you don't understand hunger and you don't navigate it well and you don't manage the feelings associated with hunger, you make a process that's already hard-ish, you make it 10 times harder, 1,000 times harder. It's way worse. I see it all the time. And this is something that I help my clients navigate. And then I can watch it happen in real time, how this process becomes so much easier. And, coaching them through the process of being able to make the right decision the vast majority of the time. We don't need perfection. We just need consistency over time. So seeing them make the right decisions the vast majority of the time consistently enough that we can see progress, it's amazing. It's awesome to see that and to see the confidence that they get, that they know they can be in any scenario, any circumstance, high hunger, low hunger, medium hunger, it doesn't matter. And they are confident with themselves that they will make the right decision in that moment. It's awesome because then they're playing a game that's rigged in their favor. They're going to win no matter what. So this is a game that I want to rig for you, and I want you to win as well. So this is why I want to just share this piece of insight about hunger, because I see so many people screw it up all the time. And at the end of the day, when you're trying to get as shredded as you want to get, anywhere below fit, you go from fat to fit. This is how I always describe it. You go from fat to fit, kind of like I did, and then you go from fit to abs, also like what I did. And if you're going from fit to abs, the hunger is going to go up. It's going to get harder. The same principles and fundamentals apply, but some of the strategies will change because you need to get to that next level, and it's going to be harder. So hunger is one of those things that is a massive barrier to a lot of people's success. So you need to learn to navigate it. You need to learn to manage it. You need to learn to embrace it. And then the whole process becomes a million times easier. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I answer every single one. And you can always DM me on Instagram at I am Tim Walcott, and I'm happy to help you.